Alright, we got our orders back to Alaska. Time for new adventures. Welcome back, everybody. It's been way too long since I've gotten a video out. I've really been sitting on top of this one for about a month. The weather was really crummy and I haven't really got a lot of good flights in up until recently. But me and Chad, we got out this morning. This was back in February. And I think it was a little frosty still out. Got the chase cam out today. Seems to be doing pretty good. So this is just one of our normal, usual flights in the morning before work. This is before the time change. The time change has kind of messed us up now. We can't really get out in time because the sun's not up long enough before our work starts. So we've got to shift to afternoons now. So some of the interesting stuff on this flight is going to be the flooding that's happening on the Mississippi River. That's part of my job. I deal with a lot of that flooding stuff and different situations that go on with towing industries and things like that. So it's a key thing in my life, and it's always something interesting to see to me. Also, while we're flying here, we're just going to go over a few things that are new and things that have happened in the past month and a half since I've made this video and since we've been getting things moving. The reason I haven't finished this video is partly because I haven't been motivated and partly because I haven't had the time, really. Everything's moving by really quick now. About the end of February, I received my orders back to Juneau, Alaska. Super excited. Me and the kids and the wife are happy to be going back there and see all our friends again. For those of you who don't know, that's where we came from before. We were in Memphis. I didn't do any paramotoring back then, so I'm hoping to take it back up to Alaska and see a lot more sights. Something a little less flat, maybe. Look at all that flooding out there. And it still actually came up another 10 feet more than this. So all those fields you see there, they are completely flooded by water, probably another 5 to 10 feet more. What a beautiful sunrise. I also switched up the music a little bit. My dad, he's trying to start a YouTube channel as well, doing his more country type things. He has some sawmills and some old motors and things like that, and corn grinding mills and stuff like that. And we were listening to some good bluegrass music and country stuff that he wanted to put in his background, and I thought, you know, I kind of like this too, so I'm going to throw this music in here. It's kind of peaceful. So I went on another flight with Chad as well, so I'll put a couple of those clips in here, somewhere right around now. It's basically the same flight, same type of places. Got to see a nice train on the way and recorded those sounds, so here they are. My kid loves trains. Every time I can see some trains, I try to put them on here. Here's a train from the first flight. Decided to try to get a few pictures of this guy. He's just hanging out here. You can see how far this water is. I'm 2 miles inland, and this is all swampy backing up. The levees for the Mississippi River are actually about 1 mile to 2 miles inland as well, so they're not far from me here. And the water actually comes out of the Mississippi River over the banks and goes all the way up to those levees 1 mile to 2 miles out. Some people build things on the wrong side of the levees, and that becomes a problem. So like I said, we're moving back to Alaska. We're going to Juneau. We've got lots of friends there. Here's some pictures and video from low tide days before we left, back in 2016. This place is beautiful. Me and my kids went and picked up starfish and urchins and things like that. Here's a local park. And the glacier, Mendenhall Glacier, is straight ahead back there. You can't quite see it here. This is Nugget Falls, back on the Mendenhall Glacier. And there's the glacier to the left. And there's plenty of snow in the wintertime, of course. This place is amazing. So excited to be going back there. Hopefully you guys can follow along and you'll enjoy some of the sights we see. It's going to be a bit of a road trip getting back out there. Hope you can follow along and maybe I'll get some videos of some paramotoring along the way. I met a new friend who's been paramotoring a little bit, and he went to, I think, Lone Star and did all of his schooling. He had a spider wing, but he didn't have a motor yet. So met up with him and his family, and we went flying last week. Beautiful day. It was t-shirt weather up until the sun went down. So that's the first of those days this year, and I'm glad to see some of those coming back. It's been really, really cold and really, really wet for the past 6 months. So thanks, Ben, for coming and flying with me, by the way. He found me on YouTube, and we decided to meet up and go fly. So some of the neat benefits about living in Juneau, Alaska: it's a bit secluded. You can't get in or out of there besides an airplane or a boat. You can't drive there, if you didn't know that. So during the wintertime, it limits the amount of people that are there. During the summertime, it's one of the largest cruise ship capitals of the United States. There's about 5 cruise ships a day that come in every single day of the week from May until September. So outside of Florida, I think it's probably the largest cruise ship port in the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong, throw me a comment down there, but I think it is. There's a couple Florida cities that have more, Fort Lauderdale and Miami and such, but I don't think anything other than that has more than 2 or 3. Although Seattle gets most of those same ships coming back down to pick up the passengers, they're heading up to Southeast Alaska and Juneau, so. On the way up to Juneau, we'll be taking the ferry. It's not the first time I've taken it. It'll be the 3rd time I've taken the Bellingham to Juneau ferry, and I've taken a lot of the other ferries around Southeast Alaska. They're actually looking at taking away a lot of the ferry funding, so that's a hot topic right now up in Juneau, and we'll see what they try to do to replace it, or maybe they'll keep them. Kind of curious to find out. Here we are back at our baseball field complex in Marion, Arkansas, or West Memphis. It's like slightly north of West Memphis. Chad here's from Marion. He flies here all the time, and I'm certainly glad to have met him and had so many good times flying every morning and having somebody else to share the air with. There's a lot of people around here that fly, but not as many will do it all the time, so it's been nice to have somebody I can count on to just go out and play. And he's flying a Black Hawk, by the way. I think he's got 80 or 90 hours on that thing, and it is really superb. Can't say enough about it. It starts so easy, flies so well. Really impressed with it. I think it's the 125, the newer 125. And Chad's making his landing. You can see his strobe flashing down there. I lost my strobe. You see, I'm using my motorcycle helmet here. One day I was riding my motorcycle and forgot the strobe was on my motorcycle helmet, and it didn't like doing 80 miles an hour down the freeway so much. It just came off. And coming in for the final landing. I appreciate all you guys who've been subscribing and watching these. I'm not really doing this to become some big YouTuber necessarily, but I would like one day after I finish my current career to maybe open up a place to teach folks to fly down in Georgia. So keep that in mind if you're still around in 10 years. Either come fly with me wherever I'm at as I finish my military career, or maybe come see me afterwards when I'm settled down back in Georgia. All right, you guys have a good day, and hopefully you'll get to paramotoring soon if you're not paramotoring already. And if you are paramotoring already, have some blue skies and enjoy some fun. Catch you later.